Good evening, welcome to the Buck Stops here. I'm Vishnu Shobh. On the program this evening, the senior journalist Prabhu Chawla will be joining me in a few minutes on this program to explain why he chose to depose in the United Kingdom in favor of Lalit Modi, a man called by some as a fugitive, but by others, including 3 retired Supreme Court judges, as someone who has been wronged. On the show this evening, is Lalit Modi victim or villain? But what about Vasundhara Raje, the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, in all of this? She is the leader now at the centre of this huge political saga for her alleged quid pro quo dealings with the former Indian Premier League Commissioner. She was in the national capital today, but neither Amit Shah, Arun Jaitley or the Prime Minister met her. So is it all back to normal, business as usual, or is Raje safe for now, but not quite out of the woods? That's the sense that we are getting as we speak at this stage. Let's quickly move on now to our top story.
To drive home the message that her Delhi bosses are backing her, Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje flew down to Delhi, attended a Niti Aayog meet and returned to her fortress, Jaipur. Her 200-minute Delhi trip was loaded with political symbolism, indicating that she is firmly in the saddle despite the ongoing political storm over her alleged financial links with former IPL boss Lalit Modi.
As far as Srimati Vasundhara Raje India is concerned, she has never denied her relationship with Lalit Modi and other related activities. But as far as investment in his son and BJP MP Dushyant Singh's company are concerned, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley ji has categorically stated that this was a pure business transaction.
The visit underlines the BJP's firm no to demands for her resignation on the basis of charges presently in the public domain.
So the general impression in the Rajasthan government, the BJP rank and file and the media is that the BJP top guns are defending Vasundhara Raje. But her short trip to Delhi also showcased how limited that defense is. During a visit, she didn't do what usually the BJP chief minister who are touring Delhi do. And that is why the other impression that she may not be alone right now, but she's still not out of the woods.
She met none of the BJP top guns. Prime Minister Modi was in Delhi at 7 Racecourse Road. Amit Shah was at his 11 Akbar Road home. Arun Jaitley at 2 Krishna Menon Marg. The no meeting with the top guns trip reflects how BJP top brass is maintaining a cautious distance. BJP fears focus would shift on Modi-Shah duo. Demands for them to act would mount. Rajasthan Chief Minister would appear to be attempting to save her job. This is perhaps a sign that she may be safe with riders. Realizing that it has pushed the aggressive BJP Prime Minister to silence on an issue that's driving public perception, the opposition is unrelenting.
The Indian National Congress would like to advise the Prime Minister that he is going on the road of Raje Dharam and Lalit Dharam, and would request him and the government to come back on the path of Raj Dharam and immediately sack Ms. Vasundhara Raje Scindia from the government as the Chief Minister of Rajasthan.
Sources say the BJP is not stepping out completely in defense as it knows that more is likely to come. The strategy is more geared to tackle the present crisis, but the threat is mounting that the BJP will take more body blows in near future and may save Raje, but not the monsoon session. New Delhi, Rahul Srivastava for NDTV.
Thank you.
All right, just a quick reminder, a big guest this evening, Prabhu Chawla, the journalist, the senior journalist, whose name has emerged in all of this as somebody who's deposed in favor of Lalit Modi in the United Kingdom, is going to be joining us in just a few moments from now. We also have a panel of BJP and Congress leaders. But before we get to them, let's also look at some of the other associations that Lalit Modi has had. Remember, he's had political links across various parties. Well, he's clearly in the eye of a huge storm, but he has friends across the political spectrum. First, some within the BJP expressed doubts about whether he is legally an absconder. Now the NCP says Lalit Modi cannot be called a fugitive.
While the storm over Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje still continues, Lalit Modi had friends across party lines. And underreported in the last 10 days are his close links to NCP leaders Sharad Pawar and Praful Patel. In fact, the NCP president even told NDTV that he met Modi a month ago in London and advised him to return to India, even offering to help him get a fair trial. Adding, there indeed were threats to Modi's life.
तो जरूर वो मिले थे, मैंने उनको सलाह दिया कि वे आपके खिलाफ कुछ केस भी हो तो आप आइए यहाँ आकर फेस करिए। हिंदुस्तान में कानून व्यवस्था न्यायालय मजबूत है और इसलिए जो सच है इसका इस बारे में सोच हो जाएगी, जो कोई गलत हो इस बारे में भी इसको न्याय मिलेगा। तो यहाँ कहीं के लिए रहते अपने मुल्क में ऑफिस आइए, हमने कहा उनको यही कोई अंदरूनी कोई स्थिति दिखती है नहीं तो ऐसे इश्यूज को इतना डिस्प्रोपोर्शनेट इम्पोर्टेंस देना हमें तो कोई आवश्यकता लगती नहीं थी, मगर बीजेपी में कुछ लोगों को लगता।
There are alleged conversations finding mention even in Modi's immigration application, where he says, "I have had conversations with Praful Patel and Sharad Pawar, both of whom told me that if I return to India, I would immediately be arrested and detained upon my arrival." Though it's legally correct that Lalit Modi is not a fugitive, the NCP, now almost mirroring the BJP's narrative, and in a clear and public departure from the position of the UPA government, in which Sharad Pawar and Praful Patel were ministers.
He must have asked his well-wishers, supporters who knew him from his childhood, who knew him from his family, from his roots. They may have stood for him and vouched for him that yes, we know this man. There is nothing wrong in that at all. Lalit Modi has so far not been found guilty of even the smallest offence. So he could not have even been said to be a defaulter or an absconder.
The Lalit Modi saga, the NCP claims, makes him a victim of politics. One connected to the world of cricket, where it's believed it's Lalit Modi and Sharad Pawar versus Arun Jaitley and N. Srinivasan.
According to the NCP, is Lalit Modi is a victim of political vendetta or an offence?
Yeah, it appears to be. It appears that he is a victim of vendetta because Srinivasan in fact had sworn to destroy him. We know that. And Srinivasan himself, according to me, it's my personal view, not a man with clean hands. But definitely Lalit Modi is also at receiving end from certain section of the people for personal vendetta or grievances or for jealousy or whatnot.
And these associations only a fraction of the vast network of friends Lalit Modi seems to have made over the years. With Tejas Mehta, Nikita Arora for NDTV.
Well, documents accessed by NDTV reveal that the former Mumbai Police Commissioner R.D. Tyagi, who was one of those who deposed in favour of Lalit Modi in his passport case, well, he's spoken to NDTV earlier on in the day, and he says that he believes that Lalit Modi is a victim of politics.
Now, after I have retired from the government job, I am a private person. What I do in my personal capacity is my personal responsibility, and as long as I do not do anything which is illegal, it is absolutely all right what I do. Similarly, if at all I have helped Mr. Modi, it is my personal prerogative, and I have not committed any wrong.
Absolutely, but you're not denying that you have helped.
No, I don't deny.
Okay. So, sir, what do you think of the case, and what is the sort of advice that you shared with him?
Now, as far as this case is concerned, Mr. Lalit Modi is involved in violation of the FEMA regulations. Under FEMA, there is no provision for custodial interrogation. Under FEMA, the maximum penalty which can be imposed on any person is 300% of the fine of which he is charged for the violation. And legally speaking, Lalit Modi today is not a criminal. He is not an absconder, legally speaking. You see, in India, politics comes in everything, and the BCCI is a hot game of the hot politics. So, whatever has emerged is all because of the internal fight and the politics in the BCCI, and particularly the fight of Lalit Modi with Mr. Srinivasan, against whom even the Supreme Court has held that his various conducts were suspicious and not above board.
Was this in professional capacity that you did this, or there were financial remuneration because of
There
this?
was no financial remuneration. This is absolutely my personal matter, and I would not like to discuss further details as to what help I have rendered, how I have rendered, where from I have rendered.
Okay, so you worked pro bono for this entire case?
Of course.
All right, well, joining us now, Prabhu Chawla, the senior editor. He is somebody who's deposed in favour of Lalit Modi in the recent past. A lot of people would say that that's been a questionable decision. Mr. Chawla, why did you do it when you were completely aware that there's an ED case against Lalit Modi in India?
I think your question is, I think, wrongly framed. It was not in favor of anybody or against anybody. Let us be very clear. As you rightly know, there are so many cases against everybody, including your company and my company, which are pending in various courts. And there are people, two sides of every story. So the question is, if somebody gives a list of witnesses and court summons you through the advocates, you have the option of saying no.
Right.
But I chose the option of going and telling the truth. As a media person, I went there in my personal capacity, not as an editor of the paper or anybody else. And I am a cricket fan. I am a member of the DDCA, I am a member of the PCA, and all of you are talking about Lalit Modi being sent out because of politics of cricket there. You were discussing and he was thrown out of the PCA. Same thing I repeated what media was carrying it here.
No, but did you believe that it was correct of you, in hindsight, to have deposed in his favor, spoken in his favor, spoken in his favor?
The question was question was very limited.
Yes.
I was asked whether Mr. Lalit Modi was victim of cricket politics or not. My answer was yes, and I hope your answer would also be yes.
No, but because you call him victim. That's very interesting.
It was the question put.
Right. Was he a victim of cricket politics? You say yes, he was a victim of cricket politics.
Yes.
But did you
Why?
not?
Let me yes. I said victim because he had been singled out for sending out notices for the crime which was collectively committed by the entire IPL council.
Right.
Which was later on proved correct.
Later on proved correct,
but others were sent similar notices.
There are 24 cases against him.
There may be 500.
Right, there may be 500 cases against him. Did you not believe that the legal process in India should continue, and therefore you're speaking in his favor in whatever the particular question was against the principle of natural justice being followed in India?
What I write in my paper, I said the same thing. Is it crime to write the fact? What you say on NDTV every day in favor of somebody against India. Right. For example, what happened in 2002 in Modi's case? What did you do? What did your channel people did?
No, this is not about my channel.
No, I'm saying every channel.
Let's not look at this. You should be the last person to shoot the messenger. I'm only asking a question to understand what you're saying.
No, Mr. Vishnu, you must realize you are giving comment on the cases which are pending in the court. You are also giving the same comment which I gave in my capacity.
Okay, and so what was your comment?
The question was put to me whether he is a political victim or not. I said yes.
Okay, how is he a political victim?
I am saying because what he was served notices for, because you gave some contract to somebody and the minutes of the meeting prove that it was approved by all the IPL members. And you have got the copy of the emails. I hope you have got it. And in which everybody was responsible for whatever decisions were taken. And in South Africa, he was not given even the chance to sign the check. Financial property was taken away.
Right.
So later on, after the parliamentary committee, do you deny the parliamentary standing committee on parliament?
But these are questions which have been asked of him. Why isn't he back in India to answer?
That is for enforcement. There was no case against him. There are no redded against him. Even the current finance minister says,
if there is no case against him, shouldn't he come back to face the law in the
My job is not to take a stand. My job is
to you've taken a stand.
I have taken a stand.
You've taken a stand calling him a victim of politics.
I have taken the same.
Politics,
I have taken a stand on the merit of the case like you did in case of Narendra Modi.
No, but as
your channel took a stand in 2002 against
this is not about Narendra Modi.
No, I am going to. If you are taking my issue, do you mean that you take away the right of a right?
Mr. Chawla, you can say what you want. We are talking about Lalit Modi. We are not talking about anything else.
No, I am talking about the cases. Whether they relate to Lalit Modi or to Narendra Modi or Mr. Amit Shah, even now your channel.
But shouldn't the cases be discussed over here in a court of law?
Should it be discussed on NDTV or Amit Shah's cases on NDTV?
It's being discussed by the media. Does the media
not
discuss
I am a media person. It was being discussed there.
Right. I am just asking the question. You have supported somebody.
I have given a statement which is factually correct. Which NDTV channel, if you go back to the same thing, NDTV channel has also said the same thing. Lalit Modi was a victim of internal politics of the BCCI.
Okay. Tell me one thing, do you believe...
Why passport of Mr. Srinivasan now been wanted for the same crime which everybody else has committed? Why are you not raising the question?
But tell me one
As a media person, I am asking you, why are you not raising the question? Why are passports of the other IPL members...
We are raising all questions.
But you have not raised the question.
Sir, let us ask the questions now, and I can assure you we are raising all questions.
It is my...
Do you think...
Let me ask you one question.
Sir, Mr. Chawla, this is not a commentary on our journalism.
I want to raise the question.
I merely want to understand your reason.
You are taking a stand.
But sir, Mr. Chawla,
you are taking away my right to speak.
No, sir, you're welcome to speak. You're deflecting the issue.
Do I lose my fundamental right of freedom of expression?
No, sir.
Why are you questioning? It is my right to give a freedom of expression.
You are welcome to say
whatever you want to say. Who are you to question my liberty of expression?
Nobody is questioning your liberty. I am merely asking you one thing. It's a simple question. It's related to your deposition for
It is
Lalit
related to
Modi.
my statement of
Your
fact that
statement
he
of
was
fact.
a victim of
Do you believe
BCCI,
that there was a
internal
threat
politics.
against him? Do you believe there was a threat against him in India?
No, they never asked question me. I never given an answer.
I'm asking you that.
They never asked me why you should do ask me.
Right. So I'm asking you that question.
No, I don't want to answer. That is what
who has repeatedly said
my dear
that
Shom,
there is
why are you
a
going into
threat
the
against
question
him?
which has not been asked to me? You are dealing with me as a deposition what I said.
That is a primary argument that Lalit
No,
Modi
I don't
has
care.
made.
I was not at the question. Why
But
should
sir,
I get into
is it as you gave a statement for Lalit Modi?
I gave a
whatever
statement.
capacity,
Again, you are saying I did not give a statement for Mr. Lalit
Sir,
Modi.
that is just a technicality, sir. You've given a deposition
You have
in
been
his favor,
speaking
haven't
every
you,
day
sir?
against Narendra Modi
We are
every
not-
day.
We are not
against
speaking
you
against anybody. We are only trying to understand.
You have
the
been
merits of
running
this
a
particular
campaign
case.
against
We are not running
Narendra
any
Modi
campaign,
and
Mr.
everybody
Chawla.
else.
We are not running.
You
any
have been
campaign
running.
against
Everybody
anybody.
knows it.
We are not. So
That
this
is what
your
you
view, sir.
decided.
You've come over here to try and deflect.
No,
the issue.
I am trying. That your habit is to deflect the issue from one to another. Why
No,
are you
so
asking
what
this
is the
question?
issue as far as
Why
Lalit
are
Modi
you
is
asking me
concerned?
this question whether it's threat to his life or not? When it is not a
Because
question.
I will tell you, sir.
No, but
I will
it's
tell
not
you,
my
sir,
question.
because that is his
when I'm
central
asking
argument,
you that
sir.
it was not to put me, who
All
are
right.
you to put me this
Sir,
question?
it is
You are not about
central to
judiciary.
Lalit Modi's
Are you
argument
about
that the
judiciary?
reason
Are you
that
about
he is not
judiciary?
coming to this country is because
That
he
is
faces
between
a
Lord.
threat.
Why Mr.
I
Chidambaram
am
or
clear-
Mr. Jaitley
right.
have not issued a red alert against
Right,
him?
fair enough. That's
the question.
that's an important question. So I'm asking you that, and now you've given an answer.
Huh?
You have given an answer.
But
now.
you are asking me.
I am asking you.
You are asking whether it's threat or not.
I am asking you whether
I'm
you believe.
nobody. I'm not an expert on
Sir,
security.
on the one hand, you have spoken in some capacity in favor of
my
Lalit
limited
Modi,
question is
by
that
limited
he is a victim
questioning,
of BCCI
but you don't
internal
want
politics,
to, you don't
of
want to
which
get
you
into
may be a
you
beneficiary
don't
at
want
the
to get
channel.
into you don't want to get into the central argument about what he has raised.
No, I'm not interested.
Okay, so
You can't force me to talk
no,
about a
I
subject
can't force
which
you to
suits
do anything. But sir, your argument suits you. You
because
can say, I'm
I'm
suiting
telling you, why did you discuss for 10 years debating the issue of Narendra Modi 2002 for 10
Sir,
years you discussed it?
every
It was in
network
Supreme
in
Court,
this
it was
country
everywhere. What
has
is the criminal?
discussed various aspects of various cases.
What,
we are
why
talking
was
about
Narendra
Lalit
Modi a criminal? Did you
Sir, we are
discuss
not
about
talking
him?
about Narendra Modi, sir.
Why Amit Shah
we are
was
not
a-
talking about Narendra
No,
Modi. We are
because
not talking
you
about
are
Amit
asking
Shah.
me
You
why
are
did you-
quite clearly trying to deflect the issue.
You are
Mr. Chawla, we are talking about
why
Lalit
did
Modi
you ask
here.
me question
Sir,
that why did you depose?
all right.
Why
Look,
did the
look,
NDTV take
look,
a statement?
You
every 12
are
years?
now quite clearly not wanting to answer questions on
I'm
Lalit
answering.
Modi.
What is the question?
Right. So can I
What
ask
is
the
your
question
question? Yes,
without your
the question
asking
to
me
which-
about what we may or may
Mr.
not
Shom,
have covered in the
ask me
past?
the question which you promised me
I am
about the
asking
deposition
you, right.
which I gave
So tell
in
us
London.
about the deposition that you have given in London.
Yes.
What was the question and what exactly
Question I
was your
gave you
answer?
only one question, whether he was a victim of political games in
And
the
what was your
BCCI.
answer?
My answer was yes.
How?
Because I'm saying again, I'm repeating again, because he had been served notice when I went there. I'm talking about the point in 2012. I'm not talking about anything else. At 2012, he was the only person who was served notices for the crime which were decided collectively by all the IPL members. That was the only limited
Okay.
question I was asked. Nothing
But let
else.
me ask you another question, sir.
Yes.
Your decision to go to London to answer this particular question, was it at the request of Lalit Modi?
No,
or was
it was a
your
request
own...
from the council, yes.
It was a
Council
request
Narendra
from his
Modi,
council.
and I paid for my own trip.
No,
I stayed on
that's
my
a separate
own
issue.
train.
I'm certain you did.
Yes.
I'm just trying to understand the request came from his side.
His councils came. They wanted, whether you want to say, I said, what is the question you want to ask
Yes.
me? I was specifically put the question, and court put me the same question. And Home Department was there present in the court questioning me about my antecedents.
Okay.
You think British judiciary can be influenced?
And what did they
You are
ask you about
questioning
your,
the-
what
you are
did
questioning the
they
credibility of the
ask you
British-
about your antecedents?
They asked me, you are what? What is your background and whatever
Right.
they asked me, I gave
Right,
them their
right.
answer.
Okay. So the bottom line over here, Mr.
You are
Chawla,
questioning
because
the
I
British.
am not...
They
I'm-
said they're credible witness. They consider me credible witness, and you are questioning my credibility.
I'm not questioning your credibility.
You are saying, why did you go? Who are
I'm
you to
just,
ask me why
no,
did
no,
I go?
I'm not questioning your credibility. I'm asking your reasoning.
I go ahead.
There's a
Because
big
I'm
difference between the
I
two.
was concerned. I'm a
Mr.
critical
Chawla,
fan.
I would not be over here questioning your credibility if I'm trying
Why
to
don't you call
understand
other
from
50
you.
witnesses? There are
If I'm
50.
only trying to
Why don't you
understand,
call Mr. Other
we have
witnesses?
already played out Mr.
He has
Tyagi's
given-
interview.
Ask
We've
the other
already,
justices.
we have already played out Justice
Justices.
Tyagi's interview.
Have you
We've got the statements of the other judges which we are going to discuss.
Did you
as
ask them
well.
this question? What
But
you are
sir,
asking
as
me?
a senior journalist...
Did you ask my question then? Why did you go and give this?
Yes, we have. Yes,
Have you
we
asked
have.
Justice Jeevan
We have
Reddy?
asked Mr. Tyagi that
Yeah, have you
question.
asked Justice
No,
Jeevan
we have got their statements and we are going to
No, but
reflect on those
I
questions
can give the statement.
as well.
I give him the
There have
statement.
already been statements
Mr.
by
Shom,
these judges.
I
sir.
given given the statement, I said this, why are you questioning that?
No, I am just trying to understand one thing, sir.
Who are you to decide what I will say?
I am not deciding what? Anything, sir. You have decided,
You are
you have
deciding,
gone over there.
you are going here, there, you
Sir,
want to
I am going
if your
nowhere, sir.
objective
I am
is-
asking questions, you don't want to answer the question
No,
directly,
you are not.
sir.
And
So let me
you have
ask
not
you a
answered.
direct question once
You have
again.
not asked any question which you have not answered.
Mr. You have answered the question,
Huh?
sir, but you've also deflected the issue.
No,
but
but
let's not, sir.
That is not related
We
to
have
the...
known each other for a long time, sir. Let us not make this. a
but
truth
I am
or
saying
all right.
you are
So,
trying to deflect the issue
No.
from basic issue that other BCCI member you want to protect. I am
Okay.
not here to protect.
okay.
I am an independent journalist. I have nobody to protect. You want to hang Lalit Modi if you have the evidence. 5 years he has
Is
been there.
everybody
You hang
hanging?
him. You hang everybody
Is
else.
the media across the country hanging Lalit Modi? Is that your central
I am not
argument?
interested in other media. I am about myself. It was your
No,
debate.
but
It
there
is your
is
process. I
everybody
think you have
going
taken
wrong.
upon the responsibility to comment on everybody. I am not.
Sir,
every journalist is honest. Every journalist has the right to say what he wants to say.
Every newspaper in the country has
They have the
raised
right.
questions. Yes,
They have also said-
about
They have also said
various
that
aspects of his
return-
financial dealings.
No, they have also
Right?
raised the
They
question
have raised-
that he was a victim of BCCI politics.
Okay.
I am raising the same question.
And that is, you believe that there has been injustice against Lalit Modi.
I am not saying injustice.
Okay.
That he has been singled out for the crime, others should also be treated the
Do you
same way.
believe that there is any validity in the cases which exist against
I am not
Lalit
going to the
Modi?
merit of the case. They not ask me. I am not saying it's a bad case or a good
Sir,
case.
the reason I'm
Who are
asking
you
you,
to
sir,
decide it's a good
sir,
case or
I am
bad?
not deciding anyway,
Why are you
sir.
asking this question?
I am asking this question because
If
you
Farah
are
has
an
given-
individual, sir, who has spoken.
I am saying
You
he
have-
has been singled out. I am
Sir-
not saying that the justice is being done.
Sir, there is a basic point over here, sir. The
I
fact
think
is he
some-
faces
you
cases
have
over
made
here.
up some conclusion for which
There is
facts
no
are not
conclusion,
available.
sir. My
You are
question
asked-
is he a
let me
victim or a
frame the
villain?
question. Let me
There
frame
is
the
no
question
question,
for you.
sir.
You can't
There is
ask
no
me.
conclusion,
No,
sir.
you are saying that whether the evidence, whether case against him is fair or not fair. I am not commenting on that.
But sir, why aren't you commenting on
No,
that?
why should I comment?
I'm just curious.
I
to
don't
know,
have the
sir.
evidence in front of me. I have only one evidence that he has taken the decision which was circulated to all of them. They collectively took the decision. That is in the
Okay.
public domain, and that is what I said.
So, last question. You don't have any regrets about making that
Why should I?
statement?
I am fundamental.
None whatsoever.
I have not. Nobody can take my fundamental right to
No.
tell the truth.
No
I am
one
not
can.
biased. I am with everybody. Whosoever has committed a crime, he should be punished. Whether it's Lalit Modi, whether it's somebody else Modi, somebody else. But I am not like one biased TV journalist who says, okay, he is the criminal. Declare him the criminal before even the justice
I
is delivered.
take offense
I
to
am
that,
not
sir.
believing
I am
that.
not a biased TV journalist.
No,
sir. I
everybody
have
knows
no
what you
opinion.
are, yeah.
Sir, no, that's not true, sir. You have a certain agenda over
No,
here.
you
Let's
have
not
an agenda
personalize.
because I am coming
Let us
on
not
your channel for the
personalize
first
this.
time after
Let us not.
12
Well,
20
thank you
years.
very much for
That
coming on this.
reflects-
You've tried to deflect the issue.
You
but
have
I
tried to deflect.
hope-
You
no, sir,
wanted a
no one has
motivated
done
answer.
that whatsoever.
You wanted
but Mr.
want
Chawla,
everybody
you have
should be
chosen.
shut up.
No, nobody is shutting up, sir.
Yes,
I tried
absolutely
to
right.
ask you questions.
That's your agenda
We've
for the
even
last
discussed
really
what the broader
two-
issues were
two
before this
decades.
interview.
Everybody
began.
knows your agenda was after
Sir,
Modi,
this is-
Modi
nahin,
and
nahin.
Sangh Parivar.
Sir,
That's
we
all.
our agenda is questioning as
Your
far as
agenda is
Lalit
to
Modi is
demolish Modi
concerned,
and Sangh
which every
Parivar. That
media
is your
is trying to
agenda.
do. So that that is not our agenda.
That is your agenda,
That is,
because 12 years
that
you
is
ran
your
that
prerogative
agenda.
to go into a
For
rant.
12 years you had ran
But
the agenda
that's
and
not
people
what
of
we want
India
to do
have
right
given
now.
you a practical reply.
Right, sir. If you've
They
come
have
over
voted
here
for him.
for a rant, sir, that's not what this program
You
is
want
about.
to take away my
Mr.
right?
Chawla,
You cannot.
no, I can't take away your right,
Yeah.
sir, but I will correct you when you are wrong.
Nobody to question
And in this
because
case,
there
you
are
are wrong,
500
sir.
cases against you
Sir,
also.
Sir, we are talking about Lalit Modi. You've
There are 500
deliberately
cases against
chosen to speak
NDTV.
about
They are
something
being
else.
discussed. They are in
I'm
Supreme
not going
Court.
to get into this.
Why
I'm
you are
going
not
to take a
talking
break
about that?
at this stage because you refuse to answer the questions
I have
directly.
not refused to answer.
Yes, sir, you have. You have
Everything I
deliberately,
see,
you
I
have
said it
deliberately
clearly.
changed the issue.
You want to
We're
listen
going to
to the
take a break
answer.
now to
Everybody
try and
listen
get
to it.
a certain amount of order and
No.
structure back into this program.
No.
And we're going to come back in just a few moments. We need to take a short break and come back in just a few moments. Welcome back. You're watching The Buck Stops Here. We've had a rather fiery discussion with Mr. Prabhu Chawla just a few moments back. We're going to move on now, try and take a look at the larger political story which is emerging as of today as far as the entire Lalit Modi case is concerned. Vasundhara Raje, the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, has been in Delhi for a very short visit today. The question that we are looking at now, is she safe for now or is she not out of the woods as far as this larger as far as the larger question on her political survival, her immediate political survival is concerned. Let me just go straight across to Nalin Kohli, who joins me, as does C.R. Keshavan of the Congress party. Thank you both very much for joining us. Nalin, I find it strange that she was here finally for a short period of time. Neither Mr. Amit Shah, nor the Prime Minister, nor Mr. Jaitley met the Rajasthan Chief Minister, despite this entire controversy. Is it business as usual as far as the BJP is concerned?
If I recall correctly, I think there's a statement also from our office to that effect.
That it's business as usual.
Well, I mean, that's what I think the statement,
So-
some of it is. So I think we should take that at face value, because
Okay.
that's what it really is.
So you don't believe that any of these findings or leaks or statements or tweets which have been coming as far as Lalit Modi are concerned are valid at all?
I think and I'm going to go back to try and make it again from the top.
Yes.
Let's look at it, all the issues one by one. Essentially, the first is that Ms. Vasundhara Raje Scindia and Mr. Lalit Modi have known each other personally, has been in public domain forever. It's not a
Yes.
denied fact. Second is, she did not go and depose in this case. That it was being pointed out she did it in her official capacity. That itself was also clarified. It's not. In a personal capacity, any individual may, but it hasn't reached any finality. With regard to Mr. Lalit Modi, everything stands exactly where it was. He is facing enforcement directorate cases. The finance minister of the country, Mr. Jaitley, is on record that this is going to continue. It will reach its logical ends. They are quasi-judicial processes. With regard to Ms. Vasundhara Raje Scindia, she has not intervened in any of those cases, nor does she seek to do so.
Okay.
So one is not able to understand what the case is being built around her. If it's related to any commercial transaction between her family members and Mr. Lalit Modi, they are commercial transactions. If there was anything bad in law, that would apply equally to any individual of the country. We all live in a land where law and order works. So therefore, to build a spurious case, as our political opponents constantly are doing, that's their right. They are welcome to do so. How much is based on substance is what we would put out.
So let me put that question.
One last comment.
Yeah.
In this entire thing, I'd like to put it clearly. This is becoming almost as if on television it's becoming a defense for Mr. Lalit Modi. Mr. Lalit Modi, if he's innocent, he should face the consequences of whatever those cases are and prove it in the appropriate forums. But to, debate it on a daily, the BJP, and as a spokesperson of the party, it's not my job to in any way be standing here to see how he gets a defense, whether he's a victim or not a victim. It's not our concern. The cases remain exactly where they are.
The cases remain where exactly they were. Do you believe there needs to be a greater impetus on the part of the government in some capacity or various agency, for example the ED, to try and bring him back to India? FEMA itself doesn't attract an Interpol red corner notice, but money laundering does.
So
and therefore should this government perhaps be pushing, or should the ED perhaps be looking more seriously at getting a red corner notice to bring him back?
First of all, the enforcement directorate, as all other institutions, have their independence, and that's what we've been consistently pointing out in the last 1 year that Prime Minister Modi has assumed office.
Right.
Second is, if there are omissions preceding to the government coming in 2014, those who are responsible, the Congress party should answer. He left the country, the provisions were put in by them.
Nalin,
so how can we be answering for that?
Is debatable simply because if you look at what these judges have said in the past,
I'll be happy to comment on that.
You're talking about the independence of the ED. Well, in fact, Mr. Keshavan, this question actually
this goes actually to the Congress.
Yes,
not
it
to
does
us.
go to the Congress party, and this is a damning indictment by 3 very senior retired Supreme Court judges who categorically mentioned that the case against Lalit Modi is furious, is wrong for several reasons. Let me just read out from some parts, and this is when the UPA was in power. They say the enforcement authorities had no power to call upon or compel the physical presence of Lalit Modi before them in connection with the investigation commenced by them. In any event, once the investigation has come to an end, no such power can conceivably be inferred. Once the very foundation on the basis of which the enforcement authorities requested the passport authorities to initiate action against Mr. Modi is held to be unsustainable, it would equally follow that the initiation of proceedings under the Passport Act would equally become incompetent and without jurisdiction. Just one set of very strong words over there. The basic point over here is that you were putting pressure, the UPA, on the ED to bring back this man, and therefore his argument that he's being victimized tends to stand as far as what these judges have said.
You asked, a flurry of questions, so please give me time without interruption. First thing is, see what the UPA did. The UPA revoked his passport, and the revocation came at the insistence of the ED, who had served him so-cause notices. So once that happened, it was in the High Court. And if you remember correctly, after that, the finance minister on record, Mr. Chidambaram, has said they had sent out extradition letters. He's met the Chancellor of Exchequer, George Osborne, and he's told the NDA to release the text of these letters between the then finance minister, Mr. Chidambaram, and the Chancellor of Exchequer, and he said the truth will set you free. NDA didn't do that. Let me come back to the High Court case. when this case was happening, you should remember that it was first the petition of Lalit Modi was rejected by a single judge. Then when it went to the division bench, you'll remember the passport being given, a decision was taken on August 27th.
Yes.
When India was in power. But Keith Vaas's letter trail says on July 31st, please understand and let us note this, Vishnu. This is sub judice now. On July 31st, Sushma Swaraj ji, who is the External Affairs Minister, and let us remember the Passport Office comes under the External Affairs Ministry, and here the External Affairs Minister speaks to British authorities without the knowledge of Indian authorities to help him get travel documents. This is a clear contempt of court. Second, we don't know whether this was done with the knowledge of the Finance Ministry because the ED had so many show cause notices. We don't know whether she took her own ministry on the loop. We don't know. As records say, even a Foreign Secretary Sujata Singh said she was not consulted.
Mr. Keshwan, you're not answering
let me complete. Let me complete.
I asked you was that there is a very strong allegation that the ED was under pressure from the government to try and bring back Lalit Modi. He argues that he is a victim over here. Right, and there are
let me ask you a question. I'll quote you something.
You brought on pressure on the ED and the Passport Office.
Vishnu, let me complete. Then if there is no offence, he can come back now. Why doesn't he come back now? And please understand, these former Supreme Court judges, as the very senior lawyer said, they were ex-Supreme Court judges in their ex-capacity. It was professional opinion given for consideration.
Their credibility.
So it's as good as any lawyer. Let me come back to my statement here. You should understand one thing.
I'd like to also come.
See,
go ahead.
One thing is important, Vishnu, which you should understand. Vasundhara Raje angle I'll bring in here. See, that is very important. It's getting lost in the... And two things. First, Lalit Modi, he said he's not coming back because of his security threat. You mentioned that. It's a farce. If somebody has a security threat, they'll keep their, identity as confidential. This man goes to Ibiza, tweets. He goes to Venice, he tweets. He goes to a FIFA World Cup match, FIFA, and he tweets. If somebody's life is in danger, will they do it? That's why I say it's farcical.
Had a point
and important. No, this is important. Please let me complete. Yes. I want to bring in Vasundhara Raje ji one point. Then I'll let Nalin Koleji speak. See, first, Finance Minister said it was a commercial transaction between Lalit Modi's companies and Dushyant Singh. Then he conflicted himself. He said the ED is looking into the transactions, and the Congress party had a press conference which very clearly shows Vasundhara Raje ji in a 2013 Assembly election affidavit has shown shares. So this is, and see, it's a quid pro quo. And when she has shares and this whole
one moment, we'll talk about the
she has to step down.
We'll talk about the quid pro quo in just a few moments. Prabhu Chawla had a point to make before I come across to you.
Yes, this is a question we should differentiate between the passport case and the ED cases.
Yes.
There is a Menaka Gandhi judgment given by the Constitutional Bench of India that is a fundamental right that you can't curb the movement of an individual property, individual person. It is related to only that. This Jeevan Reddy, and these are prominent judges, and Justice Jeevan Reddy is one of the honest person we have ever got in judiciary. The question is, if her passport, his passport was revoked on the basis of ED's letter.
Yes.
But according to their judgment, you cannot revoke a passport of a person unless he is criminally declared a criminal by a court of law or somebody else. So it was purely on technical points that passport was revoked.
Let me just jump in on that point, because what Mr. Chawla is talking about, Mr. Keshwan, I'll just read out one more part of what Justice Reddy said, and this is important because it's directly linked to this. The very initiation of proceedings under the Passports Act was for a purpose not connected with the Passport Act and was indeed alien to the said Act and therefore bad. These are his words. It's evident that passport authorities were merely acting as agents of the enforcement authorities to achieve the not very acceptable objective of the enforcement authorities to somehow procure the physical presence of Lalit Modi. These are some of the strongest words that you will hear from any judge, whether it's a current ruling or a past opinion.
But Justice
I'll concise.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Keshwan.
This is not about Lalit Modi's case. This is not about Lalit Modi's case. Let the law take its course.
He's talking about Lalit Modi's case.
How can a foreign...
This is opinion offered to Lalit Modi. You can judge. This is a judge offering opinion.
The foreign minister is interfering.
Why don't you quote the judgment of the Delhi High Court? It's the same thing.
Why didn't question, sir, is why didn't the foreign minister wait till this case got over? Why should she speak to Keith Vaz? Who's the, that is the issue we are fighting. We are not talking about Lalit Modi's case. That's the law is taking its course. And the issue, if the government doesn't want to appeal to the Supreme Court, questions have to be raised. But why does the foreign minister speak to Keith Vaz and not the Indian High Commissioner, who's the, House Committee Chairman on Home Affairs, and request him clandestinely? The commonality between Sushma Swaraj and Vasundhara Raje is they tried to help Mr. Lalit Modi without the knowledge of Indian authority. And that is the issue. That is the crux of the issue.
All right. Nalit, you want to come in on
that?
that?
Just said that in a statement.
I'm waiting.
Yes, go ahead. Mr. Keshavan, one moment. Go ahead.
Well, I have multiple points to make. First of all is, what Mr. Keswan is doing is mixing everything together and trying to make some credible argument when the question was rather direct. It had a very short answer. The question was, why did the Congress party UPA government allow him to leave? And why is it that indictment of institutions under the Congress UPA was routine? It has happened in the Supreme Court so often that it almost sounds like deja vu. Thereafter, what is the Congress party's case? If it is about a personal equation between Ms. Vasundhara Raje Scindia and Mr. Lalit Modi, then let's approach whether it's on Ms. Swaraj or anyone else. Has anyone tried to dilute any one of the 12 cases against him? No. Has anyone tried to prevent his coming back to the India? No. Did anyone help him leave the country? No. Who was in power when he left the country? The Congress party. Why are the cases not having provisions that could have been stringent and effective? It was applied by the Congress party, and then the finance minister, home minister, others will have to take responsibility. That the Congress party won't do. If it is about things being in the public domain, so Ms. Priyanka Vadra and Mr. Robert Vadra have wined and dined with him.
Okay, we'll talk about that
so much. So why does the Congress party build up? Why does the Congress party? So basically, it's a spurious case. It's a case without argument. They will not like to believe that the government is acting. They will go by the whole thing. Someone has to
of what I have been accused of. Flurry of questions.
I will make a very short intervention. Yes. Very short intervention. The question is talking about the point that early political establishment takes a decision according to convenience.
Yes.
Why did not Congress government appeal against the Beaufort judgment in the High Court in 2004? They did not appeal against it.
Okay, Mr. Keshavan, let's limit ourselves to this particular case, and it's a valid point that Nalin Kohli has to make. The point is this: Lalit Modi has not appeared out of nowhere. This is a case that existed for many years during the time of the UPA.
3 years.
What exactly did you do to bring him back? How can you point fingers just at Sushma Swaraj and the others today? What did you do to bring him back?
Vishnu, this is a beautiful way to digress from this nefarious nexus of nepotism. First thing is, when Mr. Lalit Modi left in 2010, I'll underline this, he had a valid passport. You don't go and arrest somebody who has a valid passport or detain him. Once he left, the ED issued. Let me complete. Let me complete. Don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt, sir.
Go ahead, Mr.
Let me make your point after I finish. The ED had sent notices and asked for him to appear and give answers. When he didn't do that, when he failed to come, the ED instructed the regional passport office to revoke his passport. Please be clear. So when he left, he had a valid passport. Point 2 again. I'll reiterate it for the benefit, because I've said it. If people choose not to look at it, I'll reiterate it. Extradition letters were sent to George Osborne. There was a blue collar notice which Mr. Arun Jaitley confirmed. Mr. Chidambaram met Mr. George Osborne. And we are very clearly asked, why is the NDA hiding the correspondence? Why don't they release the letters written by the Indian government during UPA to, the British government seeking the extradition of Lalit Modi?
That's a valid point. That's a valid point. Speak. Why are those documents letters from Mr. Chidambaram?
Oh, come on, Mr. Chidambaram can just go on the record and tell what exactly is in that correspondence.
Why
hold on.
Release the
hold on. If he's so privy to it, he can stand up and say. No, but he hasn't chosen to do that.
Have the
because it's possible also that he doesn't even remember what he has spoken. That must be the play. Otherwise,
but he said the document exists.
Oh, come on. Exists what? So you want the whole government of India's every file to be opened when a Congress...
It's a valid point.
Let me finish it. You want every government of India's file to be brought out because someone in the Congress party suddenly says, please bring this letter out. Everything happened when you did it.
Say that they did nothing. If they are saying they did something, why don't you produce that letter?
One minute, let's go to this again. What they are doing, it's fascinating. Mr. Keswan just now says he had a passport so he couldn't be arrested. Now since when has holding a passport become a provision that you can't be arrested? I mean, this is it. He left the country under their noses. He has been out consistently. So therefore I'm not able to understand where is the BJP involved in all of this. Second point, he goes ahead, just a second sir, just one more point, just one more point. Then you go ahead about contempt of court. I mean, or sub judice and all. Go and read what contempt of court is. I'm unable to even understand that. Mr. Keswan can pick up these legal words, but he may like to understand the import of it before he makes a case.
Okay, look, there are lots of points over here.
They still didn't answer. Why didn't they release the letter, Vishnu? They didn't
Mr.
answer.
Keswan, we don't wake up every morning looking at the list of demands from the Congress party.
But
if we go by the hold on. Release what, let us what? If it is relevant, if it is relevant. No, basically I'll counter it in another way. I'll counter it fairly simple, fairly direct. Fairly simple, fairly direct. Just because the Congress party wants to deflect, wants to remove focus from itself, does not mean that the BJP NDA government needs to respond to help them deflect and help them remove the focus. The point is that clearly Mr. Lalit Modi has an equation with the top Congress family, the Gandhis, who are basically trying to deflect.
Alright. Vishnu, why does Vasundhara Raje hold shares in Niyant Heritage where money was
Anybody, if people hold shares in Reliance, does that mean they have become agents of Reliance or what? In this country, millions of people have Reliance company shares, other company shares. So I mean, that's no argument. You may be also having it, so you could be open to that argument tomorrow.
Vishnu, BJP has mortgaged their conscience on the altar of political expediency, and this is why the Prime Minister.
Those are beautiful words. We never saw it in 10 years of the UPA Congress. You mortgaged the country. Forget about conscience, you mortgaged the country. And that's exactly what we need to remove.
Mr. Keshavan, Nalin Kohli, and Mr. Chawla, I'm afraid we are completely out of time over here.
Okay.
I'm afraid we are completely out of time over here. There are lots of issues over here. Will this actually die down
Just a comment
as the
away
BJP
from the politics.
actually wants? In fact, I think that's a valid point. In fact, let me ask that to...
I also would like to just comment on that briefly.
Come in as a journalist over here. Do you believe, as a news story, whether in papers or in the electronic media, this is a story that's going to die down? Do you believe?
It won't.
It's not. Is that because you believe there will be more documents coming from
Lalit Modi is being used as ammunition to attack Mr. Narendra Modi, that's a fact. You use the central theme of every attack on Lalit Modi, whether coming in terms of identifying individuals or it goes finally to Prime Minister of India. It is an attempt to erode his responsibility because he is supposed to be not taking any action. That is what the charge against him.
Okay, so this is not something that's going to...
This is a political agenda. This is not...
Last word from you, yes.
2 quick points. I think in this entire thing, it's all coming down central to Mr. Modi, and actually, as far as political parties like us are concerned, we have nothing to do with it. We are unnecessarily being dragged. He puts out his defense, leaks documents that he likes, brings up another tweet, and everybody is discussing it. If he wants to face his cases, he should face it and put his case. Second point is, what is within the BCCI is not the BJP's concern. To make allegations that everyone else is also complicit and all, Mr. Lalit Modi should go ahead and put his case across the relevant authorities.
Okay.
And if he's a criminal, he should
go to jail. Mr. Keshavan, last word to you. I'm giving everybody an opportunity. Last word to you before I end this. Yes, go ahead.
This is a case of a sitting a chief minister and also a foreign minister. This is rank impropriety, and they've concealed information from Indian authorities to help a fugitive and an absconder from Indian law by speaking to British authorities. And in the case of Vasundhara Raje, there is a clear quid pro quo. Don't speak over me, please. There is a clear quid pro quo in the case of Vasundhara Raje. All we are saying is that you need a probe. Let them step down. Let there be a fair probe. If they are cleared, it's a different issue.
Okay, so let them
propriety coming from the Congress party.
Today's been
let them step down.
It was supposed to be a very easy light Saturday. Mr. Chawla decided to fight with me. It ended the light Saturday. It's been a heated debate. Gentlemen, we will have to end this program. We will have to move on to some other news. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us.